Welcome back to Horological. In this video we're going to explore the hidden synergy between watches and sneakers. This isn't Switzerland, it's Flimby, a small town in the west coast of England where shoes are still stitched, glued and made by hand. In a world of injection moulded everything, that seems almost rebellious. Here, heritage isn't a slogan, it's muscle memory. Look closely and you'll see the same virtues that built mechanical watchmaking: precision, passion and heritage. Today I'm not here only as a watch collector, I'm here because these walls speak the same language as a Swiss atelier, the language of craft that endures. These pairs aren't just ordinary sneakers. The 576s, the 1500s drawn by Stephen Smith, the quiet genius behind New Balance's golden era. In the sneaker world, Stephen Smith is their Jared Genta figure, the designer's designer. Genta gave us the Royal Oak, the Patek Nautilus. Smith gave us the 574 and the 1500. Both turned utility into art, performance into personality, and proportion into poetry. Like Genta, Smith obsessed over geometry, how a curve feels, how a line carries through, how the human body connects and interacts with an object. Decades later, Flimby still builds his designs by hand, just as Swiss ateliers still finish designs sketched over half a century ago. Precision is universal. Whether you're adjusting a balance wheel or aligning a toe box, a heel cup, the goal is the same. It's getting something exactly right. When you see Made in England on a New Balance shoe, it's much like seeing Swiss made on a watch dial. It doesn't mean every component was born within these borders or these walls. Rubber may come from Asia, leather from Italy, threads from Germany, but what it does guarantee is where the craft comes together. That final assembly, inspection and quality control all happen here by people trained to an extremely high and exacting standard. It's the same with a Swiss watch. Components from across the globe, perfected and regulated in the Valley du Joux or Le Chaux de Fonds. The origin isn't geography, it's accountability. Every craft person signs their work, just as a watchmaker puts their initials below the dial. The shoemakers here all fill out an authenticity card for each pair of shoes. Both leave fingerprints of pride. None of my pairs of New Balance are shelf pieces. There's no garage queens here, they're all worn and used as intended, just as I do with my watches. Craft only becomes real when it's actually lived with, because when something is built to last, it isn't meant to stay pristine, it's meant to gather and earn character. The very best designs don't stay locked in studios, they evolve until more people can experience them. Like a watchmaker perfecting a movement for production, Flimby's Made in England stands for something. It refines a hand-built prototype into something repeatable without being fully mass-produced. You can buy mass-produced versions at a much more affordable price. Just like watches, there are tiers. It's a democratisation of craft in action, an idea born at a workbench and finished in the real world. And here's the fascinating thing, the New Balance 1500 and the Seiko SKX dive watch, they both prove that good engineering transcends time and technological advance. By modern standards, they're both technically obsolete. The SKX has been discontinued, and running shoes have become so advanced they sometimes look alien, yet both remain respected amongst enthusiasts in the quiet if you know crowd. They endure because they work, because they feel right, they have that hidden Q factor. When something is engineered honestly, whether it's a stitched leather shoe or whether it's a Rolex 32-35 movement, that earns its place in history. Sneakers and watches succeed for the same reason: they fit the body. Every ankle, every wrist, every stride is different. That's why both worlds obsess over adjustability and comfort. A shoe must flex where a foot flexes. A watch bracelet must fit and articulate just right. Both are fusions of body and device. Technology tuned to humanity. When the fit is right, you stop noticing it's even there. The shoe disappears, the watch on wrist disappears. You just move and time moves with you in step. Steve Jobs understood that balance between craft and simplicity. For decades he wore one uniform, black turtleneck jeans and New Balance 991s. Simplicity, he said, was the ultimate sophistication. His design partner, Johnny Ive, carried that same mantra into the Apple Watch. The Apple Watch, it didn't end watch culture, it invigorated it. It reminded a generation that the wrist is still a place of prime real estate for precision, comfort and self-expression. And once you've lived with one, stepping back to a mechanical watch, it marks you out as a true enthusiast, someone who wants to understand the why behind every tick. Jobs once rejected a Mac prototype just because the logo alignment fell off. That's the key in precision we're talking about here. I've seen that same perfectionism here in Flimby, where a craftsperson rejects a pair of shoes because one stitch is a millimetre off. That pursuit of just right, that connects Silicon Valley to the coast of England here to Switzerland. Just the other year, Tag Heuer teamed up with Kith, a streetwear brand. Kith are the retailer who also sell exclusive New Balance made in England and made in the USA drops. They teamed up to reissue those classic 1980s plastic watches that Tag Heuer are synonymous for. A Swiss watch launched like a sneaker, colourways, limited edition, online queues. Heritage had met height and it worked. Tag Heuer have since put the Formula 1 watches back into full-time production, albeit with an updated solar calibre. What Stephen Smith did for sneakers in the 1980s, Tag Heuer done for watches. They made precision joyful again and reminded collectors that designs can be serious but also fun at the same time. Tag Heuer and New Balance were both years ahead of their time. The Tag F1 re-releases and the Kith New Balance collabs prove that point. Those 80s designs have came back and they're hitting hard, with a whole new generation of enthusiasts willing to pay today's premium prices for timeless designs that are now over 40 years old. It's by no accident that Tag Heuer have released a smartwatch in collaboration with New Balance just last week. Just as I was packing to come on this trip, I can almost unequivocally guarantee that these collaborations between sneaker companies and watch brands are going to become more common as time goes on. A breakthrough point for me will be when it's no longer a smartwatch, but it's actually a real mechanical timepiece. How good would that be? Every scuff, every crease tells a story, just like the nick in a case back of a watch. The moment something becomes too precious to wear, it stops living. My personal collection of New Balance 1500s, those come from Stephen Smith's original drawings. Most of my watches trace back to drawings before I was born. Different industries, same DNA. Proportion, patience and precision. Genta, Smith, Ive, Jobs, they were all chasing the same goal, to make complexity look effortless and to keep the human at the centre of design. The continuum of craft, it isn't nostalgia, it's a relay. Every generation takes the baton, puts their own input into it and then passes it along to the next generation. Whether it's a balance wheel or the sole of a shoe, what matters is that someone cared enough to make that right. Stephen Smith did, Gerald Genta did, Steve Jobs, Johnny Ive, they both did, each in their own language of form. I've never been interested in garage queens, not in watches, not in my cars, not in sneakers. The joy's in the wear, the scratches and the miles. Because the true test of design isn't under studio lighting, it's endurance under human interaction. The 1500s, an SKX, a classic car, and even the Apple Watch prove the same truth, that good design made with care will always find its place, whether that's on the wrist, on the road, or in time. If something was designed and built to last and endure, it deserves to live. And remember, collecting watches isn't logical, but it is horological.